Well, James Kennedy has been under investigation by Bravo. We're going to get into that. And Karen Huger has been found guilty by a jury in her DUI case. And yes, I brought the body cam footage. We're going to watch it. We're going to review it. We're going to discuss it. Whew. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, guys? What's going on? What's going on? Happy, what's today, Thursday? Are we already on Thursday? Oh my goodness, it's already Thursday, December 19th. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on in. We have a lot that we will be getting into today. A lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings. And yes, we will be mentioning it all because I have some bones to pick after learning about this new investigation that Bravo was doing into James Kennedy that obviously the audience didn't know about, but I'm pretty sure the cast and the producers knew about. Lots of thoughts. Been talking to the Bravo babe, and we're like very much on, and Donna, Daily Dose of Donna, like we're very much on the same page, and we're just like, why is nobody talking about this? Why are we all keeping our mouths shut? Like, why are all the content creators and producers and cast members all protecting James Kennedy? Why? But before I do that, I did want to thank you guys for all your lovely, sweet comments on Apple and on Spotify. I just wanted to give a couple of shout outs before we dive in. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Please be sure to continue commenting on Spotify. Leave a comment on YouTube. Be sure to hit the like button. Do all the things. Do all the subscribes and all the follows. That way you continue to keep supporting the podcast. But just really quickly, I wanted to give a couple of shout outs. We have Cass Gibbs says, truly my favorite. I absolutely love Zack. He's my favorite podcaster / content creator. I can't listen to Zack's podcast without laughing. He's hilarious, genuine, not afraid to be himself and share his opinion no matter of how much hate people may give him. I definitely recommend and would give him 100 stars if I could. Love you, Zack. Thank you, Cass. We also have HG 2023. Says, never miss an episode. Zack does his research and provides thoughtful commentary along with comedy and song. Never miss an episode. And then we also have Carmen San Diego, who says, this was a great podcast about housewives when I started listening. Now all you're doing is talking about going to the gym and your dogs and reading comments out loud, talking about political stuff you don't understand. It's super boring. There are lots of other podcasts. Sorry, not sorry. Well, if there are lots of other podcasts and mine is so boring, if mine were so boring, you wouldn't have anything to say about it. But you do. Talk your shit. Bite your lip. Ask for a call while you write that. What? So I'm sorry my show is so boring. And I'm sorry that there are so many other podcasts that you can listen to. I hope you find them. And then Shello 007 says, thanks for being you. Love your podcast. Thank you for being real and honest. Listen, as Bethany Frankel once said, I'm not a housewife, but I am real. So there you go. And I know you guys have also been commenting on Spotify. So let's give a couple of Spotify. Oh, Danielle Klein says, you were so attractive to that guy. Be honest. What guy was I attractive to? Chillax says, was it a U-Haul? Oh my God, Zack, you're too good. What did I say about the U-Haul? Patty Nisbet said, oh my God, this episode, speaking of yesterday's episode, this episode was perfection. Let's just leave you standing out there in the cold rain and hope you are the best, my dude. Yeah. All right. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the content. Listen, it's called No Filter with Zack Peter. So you know what you're not going to get with Zack Peter? A filter. All right. Shall we begin? Shall we dive in? Okay. Let's start with the James Kennedy of it all. Because boy, is my head spinning. Okay. So it was just reported in Page 6. Okay. Page 6 reported that Bravo was conducting or was leading a third-party independent investigation into James Kennedy. Okay. Bravo led an investigation after there were reports that were made to Evolution Media, which is the production company that films and produces Vanderpump Rules, all per page 6. And apparently there was this whistleblower in production, or a sort of close source close to production, that had multiple allegations that they brought to the network. It sounds like this investigation happened last year, but I got some new information outside of this page 6 article, and let me see. I did find out who the whistleblower is. I'm not going to reveal their name, but I did find out who the whistleblower is, and it appears that mm, 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 there were allegations dating back to season 3, or at least there were things that people were talking back with James Kennedy dating back to season 3, and I believe the investigation may have started earlier than last year. I understand. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the allegations made against James happened years ago. Yeah, we know Jamie Lynn came out and she said that she'd been telling the network about this and she had been interviewed about this as well. And so that's the part that's kind of crazy for me, because I'm like, well, if this investigation was going on, and if Jamie Lynn knew about the investigation, and I know other servers that have reached out to me and they've told me that they were aware that these investigations were going on. Um, So for me, it kind of is hard for me to believe that Lisa Vanderpump and the cast was not aware of these things with James Kennedy going on. So, like I said, apparently there was this whistleblower, reported multiple, or brought all of these allegations to the production company. They decided to do a third party investigation. I assume Rachel's comments and Kristen Doty's comments, Rachel Evans and Kristen Doty's comments, were factored into that as well. We know Logan No years ago posted on social media saying that he ended his friendship with James because James broke his nose. The whistleblower then was reportedly horrified to see James Kennedy still be allowed to appear at BravoCon last year. And not only was he allowed to attend BravoCon, but James Kennedy was celebrated as the number one guy in the group, because obviously that's a joke on Vanderpump Rules. Jax Taylor was like, I'm the number one guy in the group. And then Tom Sanders was like, I'm the number one guy in the group. And then now everyone's like, James Kennedy's the number one guy in the group. What is the number one guy in group? The biggest fucking asshole? Is that the number one guy in the group? Who can be the worst human being? Is that what the number one guy in the group is? Like, what is this title now that we're seeing all of these things come out? You're not seeing a whole bunch of stuff come out about Tom Schwartz. Yeah, he, wasn't the best husband to Katie, and, may have made out with a few other people, but he wasn't like, he wasn't having a 7-month affair. He wasn't, banging every server at Sir and Pump and Tom Tom, and he wasn't, allegedly abusing women. It's wild to me because, I think I got like so even more fired up about this because the Blake Lively movie with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, it ends with us. It just came out on Netflix. I think we talked about this last week, that it just was brought to Netflix. And so I watched it last night before the news of James's investigation was going on. And just watching that movie, like, it just made me so angry. Obviously, I talked about, things on this podcast before, but like, from my own experience, but like it just, as this news was breaking, I was at the end of watching that movie, and reading this report just like made my blood boil, because yes, I understand Vanderpump, and I've made this argument myself. Vanderpump Rules is about bad seeds, right? Dumb young kids doing stupid shit. They cheat, they lie, they steal. Like Jack stole the sunglasses, remember, when they were on vacation, then he got arrested, and they make dumb mistakes, right? But physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, all of that sort of stuff, when it's, a domestic incident between a partner and it's a man doing this to a woman that he is in a relationship with or has some sort of intimate, you know, relationship with, that's where I draw a line, right? We've seen that James has anger issues repeatedly, over and over and over again. There was a montage that I was watching this morning of all these incidents that James Kennedy was in, like all his past bad behavior. And let's see, where is it? Someone sent it to me. It was like Bravo Investigator or something. Um, meant to pull it up, and I guess I didn't save it. But so there was like this montage of all of James's bad behavior and all the times he's yelled at women or had derogatory or nasty things to say about women. And it's one thing to have like a sparring argument, right? It's one thing to throw insults and whatever. It's another thing when you know somebody has um a history of anger issues that have then manifested themselves physically, right? Again, Logan no accused James, and we know that there was some sort of relationship there because remember Logan was saying that him and James would like hook up, and he believed that James was secretly in love with him. All of that sort of stuff. Didn't James also get into a fight with Lisa Vanderpump's son Max? We had the Tom Sandoval incident where he said that they got like banned from Atlantic City because he did something to a waitress. So James has never been one to keep his hands to himself. He's never been one to not raise his voice. There are things that make him a great reality star, but at the same time, there are just lines that I don't think that we should cross, right? Again, Vanderpump Rules is a show about, kids behaving badly and we rewarded them for behaving badly, but like, you know, where do we draw that line? Because I want to get into the double standards because initially, I didn't want to touch these allegations when I first heard them last year. But let me be very clear. We all heard about them. All your favorites out there that have a microphone, that have a platform, that have an Instagram, that have all that shit. We all heard about it. We've all discussed it behind closed doors. I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but if they're not talking about it on their platforms right now, then you can look at them a little sideways because let me be very clear. We all heard about these allegations, whether we wanted to address it or put our head in the sand, whatever. I put my head in the sand. I will own that. I'm now, standing up against it because I believe that James Kennedy is not a great guy anymore. Not that I ever thought that he was a great guy, but he was at least entertaining, right? He was a little volatile. He was spicy. He had a lot that he brought to the show. He's very flamboyant. And then there were other moments where, it's like I wanted to believe what Lisa Vanderpump was shoving down our throats, right? She was shoving her big fat dick down our throats and we were choking on it, right? We were choking on, oh, James is such a good person. Lisa kept shoving it down our throats and we were like, gagging on it and like, oh yeah, he's a good person. He's getting better. Ramona New Beginnings. Jax Taylor, I'm working on myself. Same fucking bullshit. Lisa Vanderpump was promoting him and promoting him and promoting him and promoting him and encouraging him. And I think that she genuinely wanted to believe that, ooh, someone just texted me. I have intel. What's the intel? I wanted to believe it, right? I wanted to believe that he was Ramona Singer, new beginnings. He was better. He learned from his past, right? But so, um, it's just out of all of it, like, again, I didn't wanna touch it because they seemed like loose allegations. I didn't have details. I didn't have concrete evidence. I'm not in that inner circle, right? I don't know what really happened with Logan. I don't know what really happened with Rachel. I don't know what really happened with Kristen. And I trusted that if none of these other people were talking about these incidents or wanted to shut it down, that maybe they weren't talking about it because maybe it was just, exaggerated rumors. And now here we are. He's arrested. Why is he arrested? DV. Arrested for DV. The neighbor reportedly saw him grab Allie, and then we know that the cops were told by Allie that she was thrown to the ground by her boyfriend James Kennedy. And then now we find out that James was under investigation and he was still allowed to attend BravoCon, and they gave him the Colloquial Excellence Award, and he was allowed to still film an entire season of Vanderpump Rules. Let me remind you, okay, that same grace that was given to James Kennedy was not shown to some of the other stars on the network. Brandi Glanville immediately pulled from filming Real Housewives' Ultimate Girls Trip in Morocco. Brandi Glanville was then banned from attending the Traders reunion. She was not allowed to attend BravoCon that year, and Real Housewives' Ultimate Girls Trip Morocco was scrapped altogether despite the internal investigation, the third-party independent investigation into Brandi. She was ultimately cleared in that investigation, and they came out and said that Caroline felt, well, what she felt disrespected, but she wasn't violated. That's what the findings found, that Brandi, she was ultimately cleared in that investigation. But yet she still is not working for the network. Granted, she's made her own mess after everything, but let's be very clear. She lost a lot when that investigation was going on. She was immediately pulled from production. James Kennedy was allowed to film his, the allegations have been around for years, but he was still allowed to continue filming full time for Vanderpump Rules. Ramona Singer, We had the entire Real Housewives of New York reunion canceled while her investigation was going on. The cast was scrapped and they rebooted the whole series. Ramona was pulled from BravoCon. She was disinvited from Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, the Roni Legacy premiere. Remember when that premiere was supposed to happen? I mean, granted, Ramona still showed up to that despite them disinviting her. She still attended and was there for a few minutes, took some paparazzi pictures and laughed. But I mean, come on. And let's remember, they also found no evidence to support the allegations against Ramona either. So Ramona was also cleared in her investigation, yet the network discarded her completely. Okay. Stassi and Kristen. There was no investigation before they were fired. Remember, they were immediately fired because of the public outcry, because of Faith Stowers' claims against them, which we later found out were exaggerated. Okay. Let's be very clear. Let's remember that when we reviewed that story. Stassi and Kristen did not ever call the police on Faith Stowers. Okay. The story is there were multiple servers, multiple workers at SIR that claimed that Faith had stolen from them. So they were all talking about, Faith, these were allegations against their group that Faith was somebody that would steal things from people. Okay. Then they saw footage of a woman that they believed looked like Faith, and then Kristen Doty, I think she called into that tip line saying, "Hey, I think I have some information on who that person is," and never heard back from them. So police never really got involved, and Faith didn't even know about this story until Stassi stupidly went on Jackie Schimmel's podcast and talked about it. So there was no police action that was ever taken against Faith at all. She didn't even know about this again until Jackie Schimmel's podcast aired. And then Jackie Schimmel's podcast aired and Faith talked about it and it became a whole big scandal. And then Jackie Schimmel deleted the podcast episode and has since come out and said she regrets deleting that podcast episode. She should have left it up. That way people could have listened to it for themselves. Stassi was not involved in the tip line. Stassi just told the story of what Kristen did. And Kristen's one that called into the tip line. She's taking accountability for it, whatever. But there was no investigation. There was no independent third-party investigation into that. They were fired immediately on the spot when that broke. So, and I want to be very clear, I'm not trying to excuse any of their behavior of Kristen or Stassi or Ramona or Brandy. Like, listen, I'm not saying they're innocent or they're perfect people by any means, but my point is the network took immediate action towards all of them. And James Kennedy was celebrated amid his investigation. For me, I take issue with the double standards. Oh, Mallory said Lala was investigated as well for putting a butter knife up to Faith's throat when she was drunk. I remember hearing about that. I don't know if they actually like did a full formal investigation into that though. But like, listen, this James Kennedy situation is not a case of somebody getting drunk and frisky, right? Or, oh, I used some words and those words offended somebody or hurt somebody. These are allegations of physical abuse. Jamie Lynn, Rachel Leviss, Logan No, Kristen Doty. Tom brought it up on camera about, the waitress in Atlantic City and how James was inappropriate with her. We just saw it at Sheena's wedding. Remember, there was a story about one of their friends or one of the wedding guests that James happened to like get into a fight with the night before the wedding when they were all in Mexico. So it's wild to me because it's like the world was outraged and out for blood when Tom Sandoval cheated on Ariana. And I get it. What he did was wrong. It was manipulative. It was gross. It was horrible what Tom and Raquel did to Ariana. However, why is it that we were so outraged that Tom cheated, but nobody's outraged that James Kennedy's had multiple issues, right? Exactly. Remember, Teddy and Tamara said that they shared a limo with them. There was a big altercation in the car that they witnessed. Yep. They didn't want to get into details again because it's such a messy case, right? It's like, these allegations are wild. Daily Dose of Donna says, I'm so over it, not to mention the content creators who follow along like sheep. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, that's the part that pisses me the fuck off, is it's like, you guys all know about this stuff. You all know we've all talked about these allegations. They all know, and they want to be like, let's wait and see what happens when Jan, it's like, you all have a moral fucking compass. You were all like, fire Christian, fire Stassi, fire Jax. Oh my God, I have a heart. I have a soul. Fuck that. Hypocrites. Like, it's why not all of them. I don't, that's a very generalized blanket statement that I'm throwing out there, but like, there are a lot of them that are social justice warriors when it matters, or in their head when it matters. And suddenly it's like, oh, but we don't want to talk about this. Ooh. Are some content creators paid off? They wish. No, they just don't wanna get into scandal. They don't wanna say anything unpopular. They don't wanna like, "Ooh, I don't wanna like, ooh, touch the fire because I might get burned." That's what's crazy, right? They supported Mike of Shaw's despite allegations against him for his. Yes and no. They ultimately ended up scrapping Shaws of Sunset altogether. The Brav Bros, I did see are speaking on it, and I'm very glad. I watched their video this morning on TikTok. So shout out to the Brav Bros for being real ones. And listen, we don't always all, see eye to eye when we're watching these shows, but we all know when wrong is wrong, right? Flat out. Nick Vile, okay? He's another one I want to give a shout out to because he said that it's embarrassing that Lisa Vanderpump hasn't made a statement. It is embarrassing. Lisa Vanderpump, you should be embarrassed. You stood behind this man year after year, defending him when he got into a fight with your own son, when there were allegations from all these other women. And you're going to tell me she didn't know about the independent investigation? And she still, sat there next to him at the reunion? And oh my God, James, how amazing you bought a house in Burbank. I hope you and Allie are happy. What? Where is Lisa Vanderpump now? If anything, just to make a statement condoning physical abuse towards women. That's all any of them have to do right now. Make a statement at the very least. I'm so sorry. I am disturbed by the news. I don't know all the details, but I want to make it very clear that I don't condone physical violence towards women under any circumstances. I hope Allie is well, and is surrounded by those that love her. I can write your fucking PR statement for you. Your silence speaks volumes. Let's be very clear, because when Teddy and Tamara came out with their story about the limo, let's not forget Sheena then had Allie on her podcast to shut that story down. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. They're totally making it up. Again, I don't know if I'm extra sensitive because I was watching the movie last night with Blake Lively. It Ends With Us, and just seeing how the victim will, or individual, that's on the receiving end of the abuse can like convince themselves and like lie to themselves and lie to the people around them. And it's like, it's just wild to me. And it makes me angry because it's like, I like Sheena. I like Lala. I defended them all of last season when the audience was dragging them. You know, I Some of these people I know personally, some of them I know casually, and it's just unfortunate to see how quiet everybody. And I get it, we wanna wait for all the details to come out, but again, all you have to do is come out. You don't even have to, like, distance yourself from James, you don't have to disparage yourself from James. We wait for more details to come out, but at least make it clear that this is not what you stand for. And the unfortunate part is, now I feel like because people like me are coming out and being like, "What the fuck, yo?" Now I feel like they're gonna come out and they're gonna issue a statement and they're gonna say something because now they feel pressured to. You shouldn't feel pressured to distance yourself from allegations of physical abuse towards women. You should just do it because you're a good person. Period. We're like, a lot of these cast members or people that are involved are parents. They have daughters. That's why I understand when like Steele on from the Brav Bros goes on his podcast and he's like, "Yeah, I don't stand for this," because he has two little girls at home and he would never want to see them go through that. I could never imagine being quiet at a time. Well, I've never been quiet. Let's be very clear. But like, come on. Let's be real for a second. Run and tell that. Sorry, I got a little heated. Got a little fired up. It makes my blood boil. There are things that I just don't tolerate, and violence towards women is not something that I fucking tolerate. It makes me angry. I just I don't know. I think there are a lot of moments that I've in like the past 12 hours since watching that movie and then listening and hearing about the investigation, because it's one thing for them to ignore the allegations, but then for them to investigate. And listen, you're going to tell me none of those cast members were interviewed? None of them were aware of this investigation going on? Lisa Vanderpump had no clue. No, darling, I didn't know anything, darling. I'm over here opening up the Flamingo Cafe in Las Vegas. Oh, darling. Oh, come on. Yeah, come on, Lisa. Come on. Get your head out of your ass and stand up for, you know, people that can actually use the platform that you've built. Sorry. I'm like, I literally like have anxiety in my body because I'm so fucking angry about this. It just makes my blood boil. And maybe I'm going too hard. Sometimes I know I do that. Sometimes I know I get Zactivated. That's a term we like to use. And I get a little too fired up about something. I get it. I get it. But it just makes me so angry. Stassi can't say anything either because she has business doing business with LVP for Vanderpump Villa. Yes, but also Stassi's been very clear. Stassi and Katie, I feel like, have never condoned James. They've never liked James. They've never clapped for him. They've never stood up for him. Like, those are two that I will. Where the fuck is Queen Ariana? Why aren't you guys mad at her? She's always defended James. She's continued. I mean, she'll hold him accountable when she wants to hold him accountable, but where's your queen now? Why isn't she saying anything? She's such a big defender of women. She's right there. Her and she's got there's something about her. Where's she at? None of them have said anything. The people that stood by James have not said anything. You sound like the guy from Fantastic Beasts. Who's the guy from Fantastic Beasts? Jen says if we supported Kristen, she would have, but she was unhinged herself, so we didn't hear her or wouldn't. Yeah, I agree. Pamela says if you grew up seeing violence, you either turn into an abuser or you turn into an advocate. Thank you for being an advocate, Zack. It just like, and I'm not going to lie to you. After watching that movie last night and reading these reports and talking to other content creators last night, like it just, there was something, and I was like, why am I being so, like, why is this hitting me so deeply? And I think it just reminded, it like brought back, like I lost myself and I was like no longer the grown 31-year-old man that I am today. And I just became that scared little boy again. And I was like, I don't like, no, I'm not going to tolerate this. I don't like it. It is not okay. We do not need to give a pass. If nobody else, if all these other women on the network did not get a pass and were canceled immediately by the audience, by the network, by the media, then no, we should not give James Kennedy a pass. And yes, I understand we live in a country where everybody is innocent until proven guilty. However, nobody else got that same grace. Why does James Kennedy deserve that grace? We've seen his behavior. You know, it's not like Brandy Glanville, who's just very free with her sexuality and can be inappropriate, right? And sometimes that situation can be read the wrong way. It's not, Stassi and Kristen who were just dumb and did something stupid that, eventually that could have had ramifications on Faith. Ultimately didn't, but it could have. And we understand how that could have, really affected Faith in a really negative way. And it's not like Ramona, who was just ignorant and made stupid statements. It's very different. Like this is physical violence towards, you know, women. I don't understand why that's, yeah, too many coincidences. That's the thing for me. It's too many coincidences. That's what makes me so angry. Stassi never liked James and still shades him in her podcast. Yeah, I think Stassi knows. Stassi knows who James is. They all know who James is. Whether they want to believe it or not, they all do. And again, it's so disheartening because, again, I know some of these people personally, and I'm like, why aren't you saying anything? I don't know why, but, it just, yeah. Teddy and Tamara said they had to switch limos because of the altercation. Yep. I hope Teddy and Tamara speak out about it too. They've seen something. And I hope that they say something. See something, say something. James does not deserve another chance. Yeah. You're so hot when you're riled up. It makes me angry. And I feel like, oh, when he spit on Christian's door, yeah. Yeah, we saw that. They never did that investigation with Faith because the whole cast was involved and Stassi and Kristen just took the fall for them. Yeah. That's a really good question, Danny. It's a really good question. Actually, I know where that person is, Danny, and I know where that person stands on all of this. Can't say I'm not disappointed in that either. Oh. Um, Interesting. Donna Bowling got some interesting info on the whistleblower and the investigation. She says that there should be more info coming out today publicly. Interesting. All right. Thank you, Donna Bowling. All right. As much as I feel awkward moving to an ad read, I'm gonna give a shout out to our to this week's sponsor, and then we're gonna get into the Karen Huger of it all. Because we have that footage, and let's see if I get fired up about that one too. But I want to give a shout out to my pals at BioRay. It's so weird doing an ad read right now, but like hopefully this will give us a moment to breathe. But I want to give a shout out to my pals at BioRay. BioRay is a family brand, women owned. Shout out to Stephanie Ray. But so for the last 30 years, BioRay has utilized the balance of nature and science to create safe and effective liquid herbal supplements that detoxify the body, support specific organ systems, and vitalize hormones. I take their, last night I made myself an Aperol spritz and I put in some of their BioRay liver lever with some of their Ray's Life is Peachy, because Life is Peachy can help with like those sugar cravings and, sugar cravings. This one's also one of my favorites. This one I take in the morning. It's called Thinking Cap by BioRay's Raise line. Raise is designed specifically for teens, but they have products for the whole family. Whether they have products for infants, kids, teens, adults. They also have a special intimate line. And if you order one of their 2 intimate kits, they have a For Your Flow intimate kit, which is to help you before and after your flow, ladies. And they also have the Love Tonic Intimacy Kit. And that one is specifically for, helping with libido and stamina for both partners. Really good. So if you get one of their intimate kits, you'll get to take home a very special gift. And it's a complimentary massage candle that melts into a soothing oil. So you can have your Love Tonic kit. You have your little red rooster for him. You have your lady passion for her. You can get things nice and spicy. And then you can light up the massage oil and have a nice little massage. BioRay products are the plant medicine that you've been looking for. They're tasty liquid tinctures for ease of intake, regardless of who you're shopping for, the babies, the kids, the teens. They have it all right now. In addition to the intimate kits promotion, where you get a free massage candle with an intimate kit, you also, if you buy 2 or more products from the BioRay Raise line, which is their teens line. I really like the Thinking Cap. They also have Dream Machine to help with, if you have struggle sleeping. They also have the Life is Peachy to help with like the cranky, angsty teens, and then Thinking Cap, which they call the study buddy for a focused mind. If you buy 2 or more Raise products, you get a free water bottle. So those are 2 free gifts with purchase that you can order at bioray.com. Go to bioray.com. Use code Zack, Z-A-C-K, for free shipping. That is code Zack, Z-A-C-K. So listen, this is the time to shop, because not only do you get free gifts with purchase, you also get free shipping. So head on over to BioRay, BioRay, bioray.com right now. Use code Zack for free shipping. Let's talk Karen Huger. Kern Huger. Let's get into it. Because, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Karen Huger has been found guilty, and we have some new body cam footage that we'll review in just a sec. So Karen Huger from the Real Housewives of Potomac, she was charged with DUI, which is driving under the influence, DWI, driving while intoxicated, negligently driving a vehicle in a careless and imprudent manner, endangering property, life, and person, recklessly driving a vehicle in wanton and willful disregard for the safety of persons and property, failure to control vehicle speed on the highway to avoid a collision, driving a vehicle in excess of reasonable or prudent speed on the highway, driving a vehicle on the highway with a suspended registration, and failure to notify administration of a change of address within 30 days. She was ultimately found guilty by a jury in her trial on all charges, with exception for the reckless driving. So all the other accounts, DUI, DWI, negligent driving. The only thing she didn't do was recklessly drive. But I don't know how she didn't recklessly drive. My goodness. She was found guilty of failure to control the vehicle speed. So what we're seeing play out, and I haven't really watched Potomac this season. It was just kind of boring, but I know that that's part of her big storyline this season. And she's like, I'm innocent. Something, I think at one point I heard that like the car may have malfunctioned. And then she said that somebody came and drove her off the highway. And I don't know, the tree, I'm just going to go out on a whim here and say that the tree did not come out of nowhere. She's saying, I'm innocent. I don't know if she's that innocent. And her attorneys released his statements. Let's get to the statement and then we'll get to the footage. Let's see. Her attorneys said, although we are disappointed in the jury's verdict, we, of course, respect their decision and appreciate their time hearing our case. We continue to reserve Miss Huger's right to an appeal and intend to fully pursue justice on her behalf. We appreciate your support and prayers for Miss Huger and her family at this time. You clearly don't appreciate and respect the jury's decision if you're planning on appealing it, especially now that we see the body cam footage that has come out from that night. So Karen Huger was arrested back in March, or she was taken into custody and questioned back in March when she ran into a tree and, was a little lit, but it's in. Let's play the videos and then we'll discuss. Okay, so this is the first video after authorities were called onto the scene. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. First video.
I'm Karen.
Montgomery County Police.
I would rather.
Remember,
I don't like
video,
it.
not a
Okay,
report.
so I'd rather
It's
her
okay.
not do a lot of talking at this point, anyhow, because she's probably a little bit upset
Well, I'm
after
shook. I'm
the
shook.
thing. So she's.
Can I ask you where you're coming from
resolve.
tonight? Ma'am,
She said she was coming from a friend's house.
what happened?
Actually, nothing really. Ray, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just that somebody ran you off the road.
They did.
Someone ran you off the road? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that vehicle at all?
No.
No, you don't? Okay.
Wait.
I'm
Karen,
looking for your license, baby.
how much you had to drink tonight?
I'll give you my license if you
No,
want.
I
instead.
was out, but I'm good.
How much you had to drink today? That's my question. Karen, how much you had to
No, I
drink
can
tonight?
talk to my husband.
Okay. Can I
Talk
talk
to
with
my husband.
talk?
Yeah.
I can't talk to your husband. He's not really involved in
Okay.
this incident.
Yeah.
He can help me translate or get you
No,
to
he
cooperate.
is. He is.
Okay.
He is. You're okay.
How much you had to drink tonight? How much alcohol?
Ray, are you good?
I'm good. I'm just saying, they're assuming that you had more than you should have,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming that had like a couple of beers or something
Yes,
like
that's
that.
all I had.
But
Okay.
You had a couple of beers?
So, that's it.
that's my assumption.
Okay.
I don't know
What-
for sure. I wasn't with her.
Okay. I
But
know. That's why I'm trying to
what
communicate with her.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay.
So-
So, Ray, darling, what
Yes.
did you say?
I'm saying that you probably had a couple of beers,
Yes,
and you're coming back.
Yeah.
And you said that you got run off the road.
I
And
did.
guess did you hit the tree here or something?
It looks like she hit the center median, came across the median,
I
and
did
then hit this tree as well,
Okay, 'cause
or
it's
one of the.
dark.
Sweetheart, can you speak to me, please?
Okay.
Hey, your car's on fire. Your car's on fire. Get away from your car.
My car?
Okay, that was the first clip. Trust me, there are many clips that have come out that have now been released. Yes, she refused to take a blood alcohol test or a breathalyzer test. She is litty city, like lit beyond belief. But it's wild. So if you couldn't really hear it, I'll explain what's going on. It's them. The cops are there. They're questioning her. She can't even form a sentence together. She's slurring her words. Her hair's a hot mess. Her eyes are, litty city. Ray seems to be there. I don't know how Ray came onto the scene or what he was doing. Obviously he was there because she got into a car accident, but she keeps deferring to him and she tells the cops, he's like, I don't want her talking because she's, she's really upset right now. And so I don't think she should talk to police. She's upset. And later she's then said that oh, my mom died and I was really sad about my mom dying. And that's why I was, extra emotional that night. And I had, a little too much. Or I don't even think she's admitted to drinking too much, but she said she was just very emotional because her mom died. Okay. We're in 2024. Mama died in 2017. That's 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Okay. That's 7 years. I just wanted to count that out so we know how many years it's been. I understand grief, right? And I'm not trying to diminish the grief, but this was in March and she's like, Mother's Day was coming up. And so I was really sad about my mom passing away. And so I was just really emotional and it distracted me. And I'm like, Did mama inject some alcohol into your blood? Because that's wild. March 19th was the accident. She's saying it's close to Mother's Day. Mother's Day is in May. I know. She's like, Mother's Day is coming up. And I was just really shooken up by, like, what? Like, mom died 7 years ago, and Mother's Day is like 2 months away. And like, what? Truly, what? And then she doesn't want to talk, and she keeps deferring to Ray, and the police keep asking her questions. And she's like, Ray, are you good? Are you good, Ray? Ray, are you good? And he's like, I'm good. I'm good. He's like looking for her ID, and he's like, and she's like, he can talk for me. And then he's trying to tell the officers what happened. And I'm like, why is he telling the officers what happened when he wasn't even there? And he's like, oh, I think somebody ran her off the road. You know, that's what she said. And she's like, yeah, that's what happened. And he's like, I think she may have had, you know, a couple beers. That's what, you know, I think that may be. And she's like, yeah, just a couple. And the cop's like, well, what kind of beer did you drink? Like, what did you have? Were there shots of whiskey in it? Like, you know, like, give us something. Yeah, I'm sure she called Ray before 911. Yeah, because she's like, Ray, you better get down here. I'm lit. I'm sure somebody reported it and came. So yeah, she said that she was just sad about her mom. Okay, let's get to the next one. Now so they took her into custody, drove her to the police station, and this is her at the police station. Or this is her going to the police station with the police officer and her arrival at the police station. This one's also pretty wild. Here we go.
You don't necessarily.
What's your name?
My name's Kyle.
I'm Karen. Thank you. They call me the Grandon.
The Grandon?
I don't know what the fuck that's about. Andy Cohen did that. Go ahead.
The what?
Andy Cohen did that. They call me the Grandon. I'm black, I'm rich, and I own the plantation. I know I hate you, right?
That's okay.
Oh, wait. Can you take this off?
I can't take the handcuffs off. We gotta go inside.
Everybody's gonna hate you, by the way. Do you know who I am?
I don't.
You've
told me your name is Karen.
No.
Let me help you up.
No, I did not. Oh God.
That's what I told
I'm
you.
lit.
Yes, you are lit.
Oh, can you?
That's why you're here.
No, not really, darling.
It is. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I don't want you to fall like you just did.
Yo, she is blasted. Like, blasted. Christina said, you can sit in the front seat if you're non-threatening. Yes, because everyone in the live chat is like, why is she in the front seat? Why is she in the front seat? But so in this video, she's like, they call me the Grand Dame. And he's like, oh, okay. She's like, I don't know why they call me the Grand Dame. And then she's like, Andy Cohen gave me that. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, Andy Cohen called me that. Like, she's trying to name drop Andy Cohen. And then she is just like stumbling. She's stumbling out of the car. She was stumbling to get up the stairs into the police station. Like, it was just wild. Danny said, I wish the Potomac group was in this group chat. Well, yeah, because she kept telling, I'm innocent. Wait till all the details come out. This is why when James is over here, like, the truth is coming out. And then the attorneys are like, we're investigating it. Yeah. She's telling the cop, she's like, I'm the Grand Dame. And he's like, okay. She's like, I don't even know what that means. Andy Cohen just gave me that name. Andy Cohen didn't give her that name. She gave herself that name. Remember when she was fighting for who's the Grand Dame of Potomac, her, Charisse? Kern, come on. The wig is a hot mess. Her eyes are just like totally like heavy. Her eyelids. It's bad. She made a confession saying, I'm lit. Yeah, she's getting out of the car and she's like, whoa, I'm lit. And he's like, you are lit. He's like, I know. Bella says, look at that wig. Yeah, the wig is like, it's about to fly off in a minute. Like, it was just, she looks tore up. Wild. Christopher said, she had some awareness. No, I think she really was blackout. And I think she believes she was innocent. I think she believed the car malfunctioned and somebody drove her off the road and then the tree came out of nowhere. Sheena said, why would she want to go to trial? Because she believed she was innocent. Remember Jen Shaw? Jen Shaw's like, I'm innocent. People like me, I'm being targeted because I'm a woman of color, but I help all the homeless and the toothless and all the gays of Salt Lake City. I'm out there saving them off the streets. Remember Jen Shaw? And she's like, I'm innocent. Jennifer says, tore up from the floor up. Yeah. From the floor to her wig. It's looking bad. Christopher says the wig was in an accident too. I mean, yeah. No, that was blackout, especially the next parts. Yep. So now let's get to the videos of her when she's in custody at the police station and they're questioning her. Here we go.
I am who I am. So what do you want to ask me? Can we? I don't give a fuck. You want that by people?
I'm not asking
Do
you.
you want that by people?
Karen, I'm not
No,
asking you.
I'm really rich, and I will
won't-
stay
I
in
don't-
jail for a year or two. Because you just want that by
What?
poor white, black, green people. You want that by people?
It has nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah, it does. It has everything. So
it
what's
actually
your
has
point?
zero to do with that. I don't
So,
get to make
I'm sorry.
how this happens.
All right, it's not you. I'm sorry. I'm extremely
Computer's gonna read
intelligent.
you.
I am Thomas Justice's concubine.
The computer's
and
gonna
I
continue reading that
half
for
of the
you. All I
nation.
need
Your
you to do
point
is
is
listen.
what? No, what you need to do is tell me what you want.
All I need you to do is listen. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this video, this one's a little harder to hear, but so she's being questioned by authorities, and she says that first of all, she says that this is happening to her because she's black, and this would never happen to a white person, and that she believes she'll be, behind bars for 1 to 2 years. And they're like, it's not about that, has nothing to do with race or color. Like, that's not, that's not what this is about at all. She said, no, that's exactly what this is about. She calls herself Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Yeah. It's like, wow. It is just wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. So Jennifer says she hasn't acknowledged that she has a problem. Speaking from experience, she isn't moving forward. Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, this is her second offense, right? Yeah. Pamela says, I heard concubine, but I wasn't sure what the right. Yeah, this one was a little harder to hear, but she's basically telling the police. She's also saying, I'm rich. And she said that to the officer when she was in the car. I'm rich and I own the plantation, is I believe what she told the officer on the car ride over. So yeah. If the judge doesn't give her jail time, that's insane. They offered her a plea deal. Yeah, listen, she really believed that how did Ray allow this to happen is what I want to know. Because I get it. She was blackout. She probably doesn't remember very much about what happened. But Ray saw her in that state and was like, yeah, let's take this to the jury. Let's defend it. It's just crazy to me. Danielle says, and she should be kicked off Housewives. She deserves time for wasting the court's time. That was the part that, to me, when her attorney came out and was like, we respect the jury's decision. I'm like, no, you don't. You wasted everybody's time. And listen, I get it. The attorneys are just doing their job, right? Their job is to defend their client. And I don't know if they had access to any of this footage, because if they did, then I would imagine once they saw that footage that they would immediately be like, listen, let's just not, let's take a plea deal. Let's, not go to trial. This is bad. Christopher says, I feel bad for her because her castmates will devour her, as they should. They should absolutely devour her after this behavior. What do you think? You just fell out of a coconut tree? They should absolutely put her feet to the fire because she said, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. Right? And she tried to say somebody drove her off the road. It doesn't matter if somebody drove you off the road. It doesn't matter if the tree decided to jump straight into the middle of the road. That doesn't matter. What matters is she was lit beyond belief, got behind a wheel and drove. And she was speeding down the highway, zipping through the streets like she was Shannon Bedore. Not today, Satan. Not today. They should absolutely. That's why she didn't want to open up this year, because it's not a safe group. It's not that she just didn't want to open up. She took this to trial. She pled this case before a jury, and they unanimously found her guilty on all charges except for one. Do I need to reread the charges? Like, did I just fall out of a coconut tree? Like, how are we just like, Karen didn't feel safe to like tell them that she got drunk and got behind the wheel? Like, oh, I feel bad for Karen, the wig, they should have at least fixed the wig before they let her get behind the wheel. Like, what? You think I just fell out of a coconut tree? I don't think they've done the reunion yet. No, they have not. And they better mention it all at the reunion. Mention it all. Tanya says, I'm going to request the footage of my ex's first, second, and third DWIs. This is unbelievable. Oh. Why do you what? 3? What? Danielle says, my cousin and her boyfriend were almost killed by a drunk driver last year. They are permanently scarred physically and mentally. Yeah. Anna says she has a constitutional right to a trial. Yes, I know that, Anna. I do know how the law works. But at some point, when you know that you're not innocent, like, why would you then continue to proclaim your innocence and then take this before a jury? Yes, we all have a constitutional right to a trial. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. When you broke the law, now you're just trying to get away with bending the law. You're hoping that you can bend the rules enough to work out in your favor. Christopher says, oh, shut up. This happened last year. She wasn't going to tell these girls anything. No, because she wanted us to all believe that she was innocent. And it sounds like you've drinking the coconut juice. Christopher's like, she's innocent. Go Grand Dame. You think she'll show up to the reunion? I think so. I don't see why not. Why wouldn't she? Girl, when you're guilty, just take the L. Exactly. That's my point. She said she owns the plantation. What's the plantation of coconut trees? I mean, yeah. Did she get 2 years in jail? So sentencing is yet to happen. She was just found guilty, and now there's going to be a separate date for that. Jacqueline and Mia need to drag her for filth. So who's watching this season of Potomac? Who's on? Is anybody like on Karen's side? Does anybody actually believe that Karen fell out of a coconut tree and was not guilty of all of this? Christopher said, I never said she was innocent. I hate when you do that. Well, then what are you defending? Her right to serve bad wig? Like, what are you defending? At least Shannon owned her shit. Yeah, at least Shannon owned her shit, you know, and she's like, listen, it was wrong. I made a terrible mistake. Christina says contractually Karen has to go to the reunion. Yeah, but a lot of times they do skip it, but I think that she will. Yeah. Her grandparents' property in Surrey County. Oh, Surrey County. Isn't she the mayor of Surrey County or something? She should use this to advocate against drunk driving. You would think that that would be the right thing to do. Now she's going to be like, oh, you're on. Well, no, now she's trying to appeal the case. How do you, in good faith, appeal that after watching that footage? Christopher said Shannon had more of a solid group of friends to open up to. Shannon owned her shit. Like, what? Like, you can't compare Shannon to Karen, because Shannon at least owned it. Like, she was a ding dong too, right? Because she was like, I was just walking Archie. What happened? Oh, how did my car crash into a house? Where did that house come from? Is the Wicked Witch from the West under it? What happened? You know? But Shannon eventually had a come to Jesus moment and chose not to fight this in court. Does anybody hear what Christopher, you watched Potomac? Was anybody on Karen's side this season? Sheena says, not Sheena Shea, Sheena Sheena in the live chat. Sheena says, as a defense attorney, it's normal. Oh, wait. Guys, the live chat's going too fast. Guys, you're typing too fast. As a defense attorney, it is normal protocol to appeal when the verdict is not in your favor. Okay, you guys act like I just fell out of a coconut tree. I know these things. Yes, it's standard. My point is, ethically, at what point do we just take the loss? At what point do we just say, let's not appeal this? Like, I know she constitutionally has a right to a trial. I know most attorneys are going to say we're going to appeal the decision. I know that. But guys, the proof is in the pudding. The footage shows she's blasted. At what point do we just say, take the loss and move on? Take accountability, do your probation. I don't think she'll get any time. Do you think she'll serve time for this? Christopher says, I'm saying she's not going to own it because she didn't want the public backlash. She has a huge ego and doesn't want the girls to see her as weak. They're not seeing her as weak. They're seeing her as lit. They're not like, oh, Karen, you're weak. They're like, Karen, you're fucked up. You know? I don't see Karen as weak. Now I see her as delusional, but she didn't want the public backlash. I think she kind of deserves the public backlash when you break the law like that. Like, have some humility, take some accountability, and like, make it work, make it twerk. Christopher, I'm about to send Marianne Stout on you in a minute. Christopher said they are trying to be supportive except for Mia. Mia won't address it. Oh, so they're trying to be supportive of Karen. I wonder what they're going to say about it now. Wasn't Ashley going pretty hard on Karen too? My oh mamma mia. Do you really think these people have ethics? I have faith, She said it herself. I'm lit. I know. Christopher said, stop talking down to us. I'm not talking down to us. I'm talking down to you because you're trying to defend Kerr and getting behind the wheel and, doing Tokyo Drift. Do, 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 do. Molly says the new girls seem to be willing to stand by Karen, but when the facts come out, it's obvious. Yeah. Just take accountability, It's her second offense. The state says mandatory jail time. That's right. This is her second offense. The last one was a while back, though. This one's bad. Christopher said, next topic. Christopher's like, I don't like getting dragged for defending that wig. And it says, we need to teach accountability in our culture. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. It's a nice orange jumpsuit, isn't it? Laura says, stop wasting people's time appealing. Lawyers get more money for appeals. Yeah, that's the thing is the lawyers are going to do whatever's in their best interest. And it's in their best interest to keep the client, in court. So, man, could you imagine the grand dame in prison? And she walks in and she's like, hi, guys, I'm the grand dame. Why does Karen get a pass? She doesn't get a pass. Not in my book. This is not a let's wait and see what happens. This is not a, let's see what the facts are. No, the jury found her guilty and the footage came out. Like, there's no denying this. This isn't an alleged DUI. It's not an alleged DWI. She was lit. Lit, lit, lit. Litty, city, titty. Christopher says, first off, I'm not scared of anyone in this chat. Don't take me taking a break as I'm scared of any bitch, young or wrinkled in this group. Snap. Christopher, if I give you one more negative read, you're going to go slam me in the podcast reviews. Kind of sounds like you can't take any bitch in this live chat. I'm teasing. I tease. Stacy said, Zach, did you expect the body cam to be this bad? No, nor did I expect this many videos. Wild. Birdie says, I hope she serves time. Yeah. Nobody thought it was going to be this bad. Safari says she was drunker than $700. That's probably why she didn't take a plea deal, is because she knew she would have to serve. What was her plea deal? Christopher says, for the record, I did not defend her driving drunk. I just understand why she didn't want to bring it up on the show. I get that too, but then don't be on a reality show if you don't want to share your reality. Joel says they make fun of Ashley's big forehead, but in that police cam video, well, because the weight was just a little off, Yeah. They do make fun of Ashley's big forehead a lot, though. And her bunions. Wasn't her bunions a topic of conversation this season? Didn't somebody make fun of her bunions? The wrong Missy says, oh, there's body cam footage. We just played it all. Where you been? You're late to the group. You're late to school today. Oh, man. All right, guys. That's all I got for you because what a wild time. Yeah. Happy Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. I do have, surprisingly, I have a guest tomorrow on the podcast that'll be joining later in the episode, and it will be Abe, Aaron Leachy's husband, and I'm going to ask him all the burning questions. So if you have any burning questions for Abe, Aaron Leachy's husband from Real Housewives of New York, he's got a new mezcal that he wanted to promote. So I was like, okay, send me some mezcal, and then I'll take the call. So we're going to have some mezcal. We're going to have a good time. We're going to get a little Lady City, and we're going to talk about it. We want to know about the dick pic. I want to know about the dick pic too. So I'm definitely going to ask him about the dick pic. And I'd be like, can we see the dick pic? can I share it in members only? Because if you're okay with people talking about it, like listen, I would be more than happy to share mine, you know? LVP made Kristen look crazy at Sheena's wedding. That she did, Anita. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Be sure to tune in to a new episode of No Filter tomorrow. Be sure to listen all week long. No Filter with Zack Peter. Leave an Apple Podcast review, unless you're Christopher, because I feel like he'll leave me a mean one. But thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Continue to comment on Spotify. Continue to comment and like the video on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button on your way out. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Get it, get it, get it. Let's go. Get it, get it, get it. Yeah, throw them hips, girl. Bum, 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 bum. What time tomorrow? I can't miss it. Same time. Same time as always. 9 a.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. Pacific, or, realistically like 9:15 Pacific. Actually, no, it's going to be a pre-record because we're recording it to this evening, and then it'll air on the podcast tomorrow. So tomorrow's episode will be a pre-record. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you later, Skater. All right, bye, guys. Follow me at Just Been Zack. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. Leave a review. Please leave all those good reviews. I love all the good reviews. All right, guys. Ciao. Bye. How do we send you questions? DM them or leave them in a comment below on this video. All right, bye, guys. But leave them now because I'm interviewing him in a little bit, and it'll air tomorrow. All right, ciao.